We can be our own worst enemies at times. We do things that obstruct rather than help us succeed, whether we're aware of it or not. We often have good intentions, but we don't want to face the obstacles that prevent us from doing so. Many of us neglect our blind spots, only to discover our flaws later on. So, how do we trim the fat, whittle away at our flaws, and develop a habit for success? Well, recognizing these negative habits is the first step toward removing them. So, the following are some of the most common habits that destroy success. 19. Confusing the terms busy and productive. Let's face it, there's a ton of things you could be doing to keep you occupied during the day, night, and weekend. Is it true, however, that they are the right things? Well, listen to this wild concept. It's not the number of hours you put in or the number of projects you're working on at the same time that determines your performance. Your performance is determined by the number of hours of concentration on the things that have the most effects. Make no mistake, being busy is not the same as making progress. Most of the time, we make the mistake of evaluating our progress based on how busy we are, when we should be assessing our progress on the tasks that will have the greatest effect on our objectives. While corporate culture can encourage employees to appear busy, true corporate success is the product of concentrated effort directed toward long-term objectives. 18. Seeking perfection. The achievement of excellence would not only be admirable in a perfect world, but it would also be rewarded. Sadly, however, it's a recipe for anger and a huge waste of time in today's world. The desire to be truly present is the closest thing to perfection, says psychotherapist Mel Schwartz. We need to learn to be in the moment without being distracted by thoughts of calculating or ranking ourselves. It is at this precise moment that we are truly alive. The perfectionist, on the other hand, isn't usually present because they're either critiquing their past decisions and replaying them or thinking about their future decisions. Recognize when it's time to move on and set practical results expectations. Pursuing perfection would either halt the progress or waste resources that could be put to better use. 17. Staying away from risk. Totally avoiding risk is not a smart career growth tactic, unless of course you're getting paid for it. Okay, so some risks are just better avoided. For example, being a Hollywood stunt performer. That's just a bad idea. None of the fame is enough to endure all of that pain. What we're talking about are calculated risks. These are necessary to learn and develop. You will stagnate if you do not take risks, while those around you will prosper and advance. Evaluate threats based on their potential to help you achieve your objectives, and go for the ones that offer you the best chance of succeeding. 16. Allowing fear to get in the way of progress. You can be stopped in your tracks by fear. It induces paralysis, which leads to stagnation. It often ferments in the mind, where negative images may grow to be larger than life. Start with an attitude change if anxiety is holding you back. Rather than allowing fear to prevent you from taking the first move, transform it into power that propels you forward. Most of it is actually the fear of failure. 15. Planning versus reacting. Successful people have a strategy in place. They decide what they want to achieve. They decide on a course of action. They monitor their progress and recalibrate regularly. You're wasting resources and time if the majority of your daily tasks consist of reacting to other people's crises or whatever falls into your inbox. Reacting to emergencies should not be your technique for success, unless you work for the fire department. When you're drowning in requests that you know for a fact will only serve to distract you from your goals, use these 3 tactics. Delegate, be succinct, or press delete. Know what you want to do. Tell yourself how far you've come towards your goals at the end of each day. 14. Fixating on flaws. Picture this. You want to be the head of sales, but you're a very dull and anxious public speaker. To counter that, you need to focus on public speaking because it's crucial to your success. The majority of flaws, on the other hand, do not require attention or correction. You take time away from tasks that can drive success when you waste time improving flaws that aren't relevant to your goals. Investing so much time in your flaws is a recipe for mediocrity. Instead, you could spend that time optimizing a significant ability you actually have, making it much easier for you to stand out and draw the attention of others who are making decisions about you. This is the most successful method for ensuring your performance. Get rid of the mediocre and focus on the superlatives instead. Okay, so I'd like you to do something for me. Pause this video right now and do me a huge favor by hitting the like button. It really helps with the YouTube algorithm. If you did, you're awesome, and thank you so much for your support. 13. I can do this alone. For some of us, the idea that we're omnipotent and self-sufficient is one of the most difficult obstacles to overcome. The world's most experienced people know otherwise. They surround themselves with a tribe and form lifelong bonds. As members of a group of the world's best specialists, if you go it alone, the only company you'll have will be the stuff you don't do well or enjoy doing. 12. Surrounding yourself with yes men is a bad idea. Being in the company of people who are similar to you has a negative side effect. It causes blindness, causing you to see the world through an impossible-to-see lens, basically creating an echo chamber for yourself. We've all seen bosses recruit employees who are just like them, and we've all worked with coworkers who are yeah people. They let ignorance be the driving force behind their behavior. The most effective leaders surround themselves with a diverse community of people who question their thoughts and behavior, broaden their horizons, and enlighten them about even greater possibilities. Remember, your strengths lie in your differences, not similarities. 11. Idolizing success. We all need people from whom we can learn and benefit. The problems start when business leaders attain a near-divine status. Many of them may have undying admiration, but they aren't you. Nobody is accompanying you on your trip. This is your journey. Stop idolizing others. Use their experience to direct you, but remember that no two people's paths to success are the same. There are measures and trends to success, but just use the bits that matter to you and ignore the rest. 10. Justifying instead of trying. Saying if only is the worst thing you can say. The situation is as it is. The regrets of things undone will eat you up and ultimately stop anything you planned. Define what you want to do and take steps to make that happen. I understand if you can't quit your job because you need to pay your mortgage. However, don't whine because you want to start a company and then say, I wish. There should be no more wishing. Stop watching Netflix. Okay, maybe a little Netflix never hurts. Golfing or going to a football game, and use that time to develop your company and achieve financial independence. Alternatively, please keep quiet about it. Make moves in silence. Let the results speak for themselves. 9. Poor self-esteem. There are many stories of people who have been in the same job for years and believe they're doomed to be unhappy in that role for the rest of their lives. You have the ability to pick up new skills and switch industries. It'll be challenging, but what if you never try? It couldn't possibly be any worse than staying at a job you hate. Dispel your self-limiting conviction that highly successful people are more talented than you by shaking off your fear of the unknown. They're only a little more enthralled. You deserve that role or that job you've been eyeing, so go for it. 8. Needing to get all the answers. When you're faced with a difficult question that you genuinely know nothing about, simply say, I don't know, then go find the solution. You may and will not have all the answers, but if you're smart enough to surround yourself with inspired people who believe in you, you'll eventually figure it out. You should by all means aspire for perfection, but you can't be disappointed if you fall short. 7. Indulgence. This is a bad habit that stifles our ability to achieve success. Owing to distractions or indifference to the pain of effort, laziness is the inability to function and complete a mission. Procrastination and a half-hearted attempt are common characteristics. To be competitive, you must put in the necessary effort. Laziness accomplishes nothing and is a bad habit that you must break to be successful. You will feel uncomfortable for the duration of your trip. You'll have a sense of insecurity. You would be filled with self-doubt. You may even feel frightened. Get used to it and keep going forward. Discomfort isn't going to harm you. Self-pity, on the other hand, can. 6. Concern with people's opinions. Humans are social creatures. We're hardwired to want to be accepted and connect with others. As a result, we're concerned with others' viewpoints. This can also be to our detriment. We can be tempted to make a career or business decision to appear successful to others. This behavior has been shown to be a career killer. Bowing to social pressure. If you want to be good, you must trust your gut and follow your instincts. This may vary from what your parents, peers, or society considers to be acceptable. If you believe it's right, stick with it and don't get sidetracked. 5. Too many apologies. Surprisingly, apologizing excessively is one of the bad behaviors that are guaranteed to lead to failure. This is particularly true in the workplace. Doing so makes you seem inept at your work. Managers and coworkers could lose professional respect for you as a result, limiting your upward mobility. Avoid apologizing too much if you have this bad habit. Just say you're sorry if you've made a major error. Stick to your weapons and believe in yourself if everything else fails. At the end of the day, a man is only as good as his word. And what good is that word if you keep apologizing for it? 4. Making erroneous assumptions. Assumptions are one of the most common bad habits that hold us back. We may conclude that our plans are unattainable, that they're unacceptably radical, or that other people dislike us or our approach to specific tasks. All that shouldn't matter, but logically, where there is a lack of facts, assumptions are made. As a result, to break this bad habit, collect facts first before jumping to conclusions. Instead of guessing, educate yourself. 3. You like your work, but you don't love it. Weird as it might be, doing a job you like tempts you to stay in your comfort zone. It gives you what you need, but does not push you to rise. You're good enough to hold it, but your skill level doesn't improve. You learn nothing new. You stay because it's convenient for you to like it. This is a bad habit that keeps a lot of people from succeeding. To be truly great, you must genuinely enjoy your work and be willing to take chances to be challenged. It pushes you to reach your full potential. 2. Feeling envious. It's easy to feel envious of others as they achieve success. This is due to the fact that they're meeting the goals that we had set for ourselves. Envy is a bad habit that develops out of nowhere. As a result, it's difficult to manage. However, to achieve your objectives, you must be able to suppress your jealousy. Rather than being envious of those who have succeeded, be inspired by their efforts. Allow their success to motivate you to put in more effort and join their club. Your time is near, my friend. 1. Taking on whatever project you land on. Are you the sort of person who likes to try new things? Are you still eager to get started on new ideas as soon as they come up? It's a bad habit that you must break. This is because taking on too much work can have detrimental consequences. You can become overworked, burned out, and generally miserable if you take on too many tasks. How can you get rid of this bad habit? Simply by refusing. Choose just what you're capable of handling. After that, decline all additional offers. This enables you to recognize your limitations and successfully complete your tasks. Remember, it's okay to just say no. Well, thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't. With that said, have a great day, you guys, and I'll see you in the next one.